My viewers, true fellow men of culture, now is the time you've long waited for. Please like and subscribe, so it inspires me to deliver new contents more consistently. Buhui lost control and was glowing with golden aura just like Goku does when he screams. The divine sword was right on the neck of MC, ready to slice it. Younger sister screamed that senior sister has gone out of control again, with worry on her face. However, the old master stopped her, saying that she don't have to panic. It was because he was thinking that every breakthrough of Buhui lead to loss of control and her combat power would double in a short time. Moreover, when she lost control, it triggered the spirit sword protector. Perhaps they could take the opportunity to test the depth of the MC's power. Meanwhile, she was scanning MC's ugly-ass face with her glowing eyes. Can't believe he actually made this face, even though he was waiting for the sword to just slice his neck. But Donkey Girl was right outside of the room watching the situation escalate. She didn't like them for daring to wield a sword against his master. She rushed in and kicked the sword kung fu style, shocking everyone including the MC. That was something no one expected. She kicked the sword so hard. First it cracked and then was shattered into pieces. Buhui's sword was no ordinary weapon, but it was broken just like that. Disappointed Donkey Girl called human cultivators shameless for disrespecting her master in such a way. Yet the MC was more shocked of what kind of shoddy sword it was that actually was broken by a dumb donkey. Was it actually safe to roam the martial world with a sword like this? Buhui started to move, holding his neck tighter, confusing the MC, leading make his dumb face. She wasn't feeling well. Her face was emitting dark aura and she was ready to vomit. And boom! She threw up rainbow right at his face. Best way to make someone to fall in love with you. He was flabbergasted and a little scared that she just took a sip of divine wine and now she started coughing blood. So the rainbow was actually blood. Just for censorship reasons or something. He let go of her and she fell to the ground. She was in dire condition, so it is not the time to pause it and enjoy the artwork. Wink wink. They were so worried of Buhui and were screaming it to wake up while the MC was standing dumbfounded. He was totally thinking different stuff. She thought that these three might be scammers and were trying to scam him. He hoped that they could kill him first, but things are turned out differently. So he thought that at least he has been studying with the academic system for 100 years. He learned almost all the knowledge in the world, whether it is a real illness or a scam, his medical skills wouldn't deceive him. He screamed while making his JoJo face, "Step aside and let me diagnose her." He took his set of needles to perform acupuncture. He took her wrist and started to analyze her condition. It was yin-yang separation, yin withering and qi depletion and spiritual detachment. It's quite a serious condition. The old master confirmed his words that Buhui had this condition since birth and had been suffering from this all this time. He decided to try to treat her and asked help to remove her shoes and socks, expose her feet, legs and waist with a serious look on her face. So you guys can know the shit is about to go down right now. Oh, men of culture, make sure that your doors are locked. That's a warning. The junior sister started to take off her shoes and socks. Oh boy. Don't say I didn't warn you. For now, forget everything and just enjoy for a moment. He found her acupoints that helps to regulate qi and blood flow on her body and relieve stagnation. Another acupoint on her knees that can strengthen qi and assist yang. Next was her waist that can restore yang and secure the leakage. Damn, look at that. Should I be a doctor? Please convince me in the comments not to do it if you want to keep this manhwa recap going. Last point was right under her nose. With the final needle, she opened her eyes and energy of life came back to them. Junior sister was so happy and screamed that her senior sister was awake now. Man, is she really a minor? Look at her. On the other hand, the MC was impressed that all the knowledge from 100 years turned out to be quite diverse. He never thought that acupuncture would work on so well on these cultivators. Buhui asked what kind of needle was on her nose that it felt so comfortable. But the old master said her that there's no need to worry about what it was as long as healed her, and for now she could just relax. This ghost needle technique was said to have been created by the ancient deity. The old master saw it once when he was young in the imperial palace. Right now he couldn't care less if it was a legitimate or forbidden technique as long as it could cure his disciple's illness. He said that it was Bu Hui's good fortune that she met Mr. Nie, who had exceptional medical skills. But MC was just happy to help. She thanked him with such an innocent and grateful face. You can see that she's really thankful. He felt little embarrassed and said that it's a small matter not worth mentioning. Being able to do a good deed makes learning medical skills worthwhile, he thought. It's just a pity that he didn't die this time, and wondered how he should go about seeking death next time. In the middle of the room they were sad and discussing about the broken sword. Bu Hui said that it was all her fault and she was sorry about it. But MC tried to take the burden of blame and said that it was because of his incompetence to control his subordinate, because of that her sword was broken. In the end it was his fault as a master for not training his donkey properly. He felt deeply ashamed. Bu Hui asked his master that even though the blade was broken, it still shared a lot of time with his disciple. So, if it was all right to give it a proper burial so it can have a dignified farewell. The old master agreed and said that she always considered the sword as her close companion. Now that it's broken, he would understand that she was upset. Then she asked MC if she could borrow some wine to honor her friend. He replied that there's no problem, but would just wine be enough? He immediately pulled out a piece of paper from his drawer and formed his body to concentrate. He needed all the concentration out there. He took his brush and said that in his hometown having wine and poetry was the best way to bid farewell to a friend. He started writing poetry on the paper. But the three cultivators who were watching started to drool and was impressed by every stroke, word, and sentence of him. He finished writing and proudly handed over the paper to the senior sister and said that the scroll of calligraphy and poetry was his way of expressing apology as well as showing respect to the divine weapon. She proceeded to wrap the sword with the scroll, saying to have the sword accompanying poem, it should be happy to. The sword started to glow all of a sudden. The old master bowed a little and asked that if they could stay over the night because it would be so late after they bury the sword. He answered that Mr. Li didn't need to be so polite. He had plenty of empty rooms in his mansion. They could even rest for a few more days before leaving. But in their minds they were both planning to take advantage of each other. The old master was thinking that they could stay and observe his power, and the reason why he treated Bu Hui was also unclear as well. While MC was planning to make a situation that he could be killed. In the middle of the night, MC was sitting right in front of the newly made grave, having some peaceful time. To think she really built a grave for her sword, she is quite a peculiar girl. He was telling that the sword was at peace now, so he also needed to find a way to end things around here. He used to be martial arts student, but everything was changed at that day. Back then he tried to save a stranger, as a result he broke his left leg. Actually, he was about to get isekai'd to another world by Truck Kuin. Clearly Truck Kuin failed and the owl brought him to another world. As a form of gratitude for listening his life story, he decided to show some martial arts moves to the sword, thinking just poem itself wouldn't be enough. He started move as the golden aura formed a dragon around him. Clearly he got so strong during the span of 100 years. The junior sister woke up and was looking for the restroom, but suddenly she felt a refreshing breeze. She saw that the courtyard gate was open and the wind cowered with golden aura was coming from that way. She peeked from the edge of the door and saw the MC practicing his martial moves. However, she has no idea about the type of the martial arts, even though it carried a strong sense of Tao. She decided to ask her senior sister and said that Mr. Nie can cause natural phenomena with just a set of martial art moves, and martial arts also exhibits Tao. Senior sister touches her belly. Wait, is she pregnant? Already? No way. Oh wait, she was just feeling the flow of strong Tao from the places that he practiced acupuncture. Meanwhile, MC was still practicing and was thinking that even though he hadn't practiced martial arts in 10 years, he was still proficient enough, and it definitely felt smoother and more comfortable than it was in the past. He was so in the flow that he created yin and yang from his Tao and shot it right into the sky, making a tunnel-like shape in the sky. He got huge thunder as response from the sky, and he was immediately flabbergasted, falling to the ground from the surprising appearance of thunder. The thunder directly hit a huge tree, electrifying it. The tree was split into two and started burning. The flames were all over it. He was so scared that such a big tree just got struck down like that. If it hit a person, they'd turn to dust in an instant. Something snapped in his brain. He got a brilliant idea. You can even see the idea light bulb on his head. In senior sister's room, junior sister were showing martial arts of the MC, trying to find the hidden insight that might help them. Boy, oh boy, what a sight to see. Then Biu Hui petted her junior sister on the head. I want to pet her too, man. She said that Mr. Nei's strength didn't seem as simple as they thought. And the essence of martial arts was something that can only be exhibited by those who deeply comprehend it. Her cultivation was still low, so she might not be able to do it yet. The donkey girl who was lying next to their window and listening to their conversation got annoyed. She transformed to her beautiful human form and said that her master was so powerful. How can these little girls possibly steal his skills? The set of moves her master used earlier was called Tai Chi. Although it looked slow and relaxing, it's quite mesmerizing when performed, and it felt too good. After that demonstration by her master, she got the itch of curiosity on her body and run away to find a place to practice martial arts. She came to the edge of the mountain and started to practice what her master was practicing as a martial art. She was exactly doing the moves that her master did, as they were in the same mind. She was punching and kicking, emitting huge amount of Tao energy. Meanwhile, vast and dark clouds started to form in the sky, ready to storm the earth. The spirit of thunderclouds was still recovering from the blast of spiritual energy that created a big hole in the sky. He was so scared that he threw a thunderbolt down and was still confused. The cloud hand points towards earth, indulging him to take a look. He opened a hole in the carpet of clouds and looked at the earth. He was so surprised of what he just saw. A donkey that can transform, but he still had no idea. He was wondering if she blocked her fate to avoid thunder tribulation. Whether she was hiding or not, now that she's successfully transformed, she's trying to show off. He thought it was her who attached him just now. It made him so pissed. He gathered huge amount of thunderbolt and struck the earth with it from the clouds. Meanwhile, the MC was waiting for the lightning to struck him at the top of the mountain, holding iron pot over his head to get the full power. He was so angry that he was ignored. He was standing there holding the pot to attract lightning, questioning why it didn't hit him. Could they just ignore the principles of weather in the cultivation world? He had an idea. It wasn't fully shaped, so he run around making a circle to get the rest of his idea. The idea was that since it was a cultivation world, it was all about doing some weird stuff like making vows, otherwise you'd get struck by lightning. He vowed that he's pick up girls and bang them all together and become the king of the sea. Look at his dream. He has a dream just like any other men. Right now is the best time to pause. Just pause. His tactic actually worked and the lightning hit near his feet. He understood his condition and started to swearing everything, and if he didn't do it right away, the lightning could hit him. However, at the edge of the mountain, the donkey girl was dodging the strikes skillfully. It made the spirit so angry. He said that he was at it for so long yet still can't hit the target. This time he launched full-scale attack to get her, and he could definitely get it done this time, so he would eat donkey meat buns tonight. Since the MC was swearing for a long time on everything, the lightning bolt changed its trajectory and came right at his face. He was so happy that finally the lightning successfully hit him this time and it'd absolutely kill him. He'd finally succeed.